could you handle it? Or etched it in the window of a train like a vandal did. Illuminate the darkness like a candle lit and turn lives upside down like papers on some scandal shit. If I told you the truth, could you handle it? Or etched it in the window of a train like a vandal did. Illuminate the darkness like a candle lit and turn lives upside down like papers on some scandal shit.
I think before we go through this Wilfred Wong case, we need to say our prayers and thoughts really with Robert Frith, who died in amongst this that people seem to have forgot about. Committed suicide in the prison after believing Mr. Wilfred Wong and the others. So I'd just like to take this quick moment before we go into this for you to think about Robert Frith. Okay, so folks, what we've got now is a interview from a witness. The witness in the case was approached by Wilfred Wong and they said no. So we'll get right into that. So how and when did you actually meet this Wilfred Wong guy?
How? That's good. How I met him was through watching social media, watching Facebook, John Wedder. That's how the link came to Wilfred Wong. So back then, like my ex, and I need to say that, I already said it, is that I did meet him, but not in the way that people think. You said, just I feel right, because I forget what I'm saying because I'm nervous.
So you met, so what I'm trying to say is, did you meet Wong to ask him for some sort of help and counselling, or no?
No, it was, no. Let me try and say thank you. That's what it looks like, doesn't it? That what I've read and seen is that I was suffering from processing, dealing with historical, with abuse in my life that's personal to me. And yes, I was, but that happened a long time before I even heard about John Wedger, Wilfred Wong, and the rest of it. So what people have heard is what they've believed, because I have been around a lot longer than 2020, right? So yes, I met Wong, and yes, he spent a lot of time in my presence with my ex. But how he got here, the first time I met him, so I'll tell you. So what happened back in 2020, we went into lockdown, didn't we? And it was like, you're at home, and I'm doing art. And, you know, didn't go out much in March. So started in, and I'm not really into social media, to be honest. It's like friends doing that, putting things up. But then suddenly there's this person called John Wedger that's all over Facebook, actually. It was like it was. Facebook, because I'm on Facebook, you know. I have had in the past addiction issues. I think we all get addicted to a bit of phone, you know, bored. So he was doing what? And there's this John Wedger, and there's this John Wedger, and there's this, you know, my ex kept saying, have you heard about him and his story? And I'm like, no, not really interested, but get hooked into it. It's like a saga, like I like dramas, you know. So that's how I got in. Then you start looking at other people who are on there, like Janet Arthur. And then there's certain people, don't know if I can say or not, but say some, really. I don't want to say everybody's name. There's a lot of characters. So I'm watching this, but I didn't get a chance. I heard about how many hamburgers he was getting.
So
saying hello.
You didn't know Wilfred Wong. You knew John Wedger first before you knew Wilfred Wong.
So what happened in the conversation? Now, thank you for reminding me. He said, I've got this friend I was introduced you to, my friend Wilfred Wong. So when he said, I'll put you in touch with him or introduce you to him, I can't find the correct word. He said he lives down the road from you.
What opinions did your ex have about John Wedger?
I don't know if I can say that, but he was the one who introduced me and said he was a good bloke, and why don't I listen to him? And he's a whistleblower. I was like, what's a whistleblower?
The real reason then that you met Wong, when I asked you earlier how did you meet him, is via John Wedger then, really?
Definitely. Yeah. So then the next thing happened. So that was the 14th. So since then,
not a problem.
I
understand, right? I understand, Alicia, honestly, that you've been brainwashed by these people.
When Wong came, it went to a different level.
Well, this is it. This is what I'm trying to decipher, right? Because John Wedger and Wilfred Wong, they deal with SRA cases. So I'm thinking, was they trying to make your case, which wasn't SRA, were they trying to turn it into an SRA case?
Yeah, categorically, yes. I believe that, definitely, now.
Okay.
And that is disgusting, because I have actually, whilst they're in prison, dealt with the police to do with my abuse, and that is nobody else's business. So it's humiliating for me and awful to say that I got sucked in, because because I'm empathic, that's like puts ideas and nightmares. And did that happen to me? Of course it didn't. But when anybody, and it doesn't matter what it is, if it's some kind of abuse, trauma, what I know how it's really helped. We don't talk about it. We wait till somebody's ready, and you make sure somebody's loved, nurtured, supported in a safe environment.
Back to Wong, yeah. So back to Wong. So you met Wong. He come to your house, then Wong did, yeah?
Yeah. Well, he come from the station in Brighton, so he comes here. So they would have on this chart, and in comes this character. Listen to this: is that it wasn't about my abuse. It was like he was trying to find where these so-called bloody Satanists go, because I was confused. So like, then I talk about my case that is closed, by the way, one of them, and I gave him a lot of information about that, but he didn't take it down, because what I've learned is a statistician. So he was taking names, things, and I thought he was a twat. I did, and I said to when he left to my ex, he's a complete twat. So everything started to be satanic, like everything. So,
well, at what point did you think Wong was a sort of the wrong man to be around? What stage?
From the very first time I met him. But this is how it changed. So he's going, that's satanic, that's satanic. Now, my ex we've got a great big laundry bag, filling it up with these things, as he's demanding me doing it around the house, but in a very quiet way, because it's satanic. And now I'm going to help you, but you won't. And I'm like, so we were going around putting them in. Oh, things that have cost me thousands of pounds, things that have come from like good places, like Tibet, all this shit going in. It wasn't shit, it was my precious stuff. Books, things, random things, not anything that's like got any sort of logical order to it. If we're looking at what he's on about, nothing. And then like, oh, it feels better now. I thought, we might for you. I was tired, it was getting dark, and he carried on. And then he told me that he was going to find me a counsellor, that I have a Christian counsellor, and I needed to go to a certain church. And that church that he asked and demanded that we went to is this church, the King's Church in Arundel, which is quite a journey from here. But he didn't say you can just go. He said, I'll have a word with my friend. Well, it's very important pastor. Well, there's a
So at what stage, right, after you'd met him and after he'd done that, following you around the house and making you anxious and all sorts of stuff he did do.
He changed the
At what stage, though, did he then let you and your ex know about this case in Anglesey, in Wales?
Right, let me say to the end of this. So we go through this church, go to this church a lot, and then the next date is important, is the 17th of September, which has just passed, hasn't it? 17th of September. Wong had found me my counsellor. Somebody in Herefordshire wouldn't do it, and it was done at Stevenson. So I wasn't that bothered about that. I was happy that I had that.
Stop. You just said Wong found you a counsellor, and it was Stevenson.
Janet Stevenson.
Janet Stevenson.
He discussed that possibility on the 26th of August when I first met him. So we fast forward into the 17th of September, after I've been in this church with Mark Whedon, who baptised me, and I've got the certificate. He's a small guy who is a friend of Wilfred's. He said he was. So Wilfred Wong, Mark Whedon, me and my ex, on a hot day in Worthing, September the 17th, 2020. So then I'm in this relationship with Janet Stevenson from the 17th of September right up until the day that they were arrested on the 4th of November, right? Up until then. So she was twice a week. I'm from Wilfred. And this woman has got basic counselling skills, and I knew that through Zoom. But so that's going on. So then I had no idea, because I will find you a counsellor. So I then check out her website, check out everything about her, and she engages with me, £40 a session. The first session with her, which should always be free. And so what happens on the 15th, Thursday the 15th of October, I had a friend of mine staying here, and he had been here and he'd been to the church. And I'm out and I'm not listening to the phone because I'm doing art. And so my ex calls me saying he's had a phone call from Wilfred Wong. He never phoned, only emailed me. I said, what the fuck does he want? He says he wants to ask me something. And I went, what the fuck is that? So creating this pissed offness. And we had somebody in the house who knew nothing about it. And so I'm like, why has he phoned you if I haven't had a phone call? But he's got his number. So I emailed him immediately. Wish I hadn't. I really wish I hadn't. Don't do anything, people go away. So I emailed him, like, what do you want? I've got to ask your husband something. You are allowed to be present in the room. Really? So the next day, Friday, the 16th of October, 2020, that's what the date was, I go and pick him up.
So, if we summarise that, okay, Wilfred Wong clearly brainwashed her and the ex. They made him go into some sort of church or some sort of cult there, so that's very weird. Getting baptised on the beach. Wilfred also introduced us to Janet Stevenson. Janet Stevenson's the one you'll see in the video in a minute, who was part of the plan, part of the kidnap. She's been arrested. And it all started with John Wedger. All started with John Wedger. Supposed to be the whistleblower. We all know that's bullshit. Okay, so what you're about to see here is some footage from the CPS. Person in the coat you'll see there is one of the women that met up with Wilfred Wong. This is in Anglesey. Bangor, I believe. Waited at the bus stop for him. The male person you see walking there is Wilfred Wong. Just get me out of the way. Okay, and then meet up. So that is Anchor Hill and Wilfred Wong. These two people here you can see. One in the blue jacket is Janet Stevenson, the counsellor that you just heard the witness talk about, given to the witness by Wilfred Wong. And obviously that's her husband. Both sadly in prison today as we speak. Now you'll find out in part 2 obviously how the plan was done, the things what was asked, and then I'll probably do a part 3 and close it at that. Okay, so what you just seen there was Anchor Hill 51 and Wilfred Wong 51 meet up, and you also seen Jeanette and Edward Stevenson. Okay, who else has seen them too? The other videos you just seen.
Down like papers on some scandal shit. If I told you the truth, could you handle it? Or etched it in the window of a train like a vandal did? Illuminate the darkness like a candlelit and turn lives upside down like papers on some scandal shit. If I told you